Let us talk about the nerves of eye. So, as in any other structure of the body, there are three types of supplies to eye also: sensory supply, motor supply, and autonomic supply. And autonomic, of course, parasympathetic and sympathetic. Talking about sensory supply. Sensory supply of the eye is by ophthalmic nerve, which is a branch of trigeminal, the fifth cranial nerve. What are the other branches of trigeminal nerve? Maxillary and mandibular. And this is the smallest branch of trigeminal nerve. Ophthalmic nerve gives three branches to supply ocular structures. First one is lacrimal nerve, second is frontal nerve, and third is nasociliary nerve. Lacrimal, frontal, and nasociliary. So it can be remembered like O, ophthalmic, is some kind of a steering wheel, and someone is telling you to take left and you say no. So left, no, left, no. Now coming on to the branches of these nerves. So the branches of these nerves, how to remember them? So let's see what can we do. This lacrimal nerve is a crying nerve, as it supplies to the lacrimal gland responsible for tears. So it comes out crying and gives branch to lacrimal gland, conjunctiva and upper eyelid. Let's see here. So this is ophthalmic nerve, and lacrimal nerve comes out of it, gives branch to lacrimal gland, conjunctiva and lateral part of upper eyelid. Okay, it has no much ambitions. Okay, now the other nerve is frontal nerve. So it is a front liner kind of nerve. You know, it always stays in front. So it divides into some superior branches: supratrochlear and supraorbital. So the frontal nerve, the nerve in front, it has to drive the trach also and omni also, supratrochlear and supraorbital. Okay. So the frontal nerve will arise from ophthalmic nerve, and it will give two branches, supratrochlear and supraorbital. The supratrochlear nerve will supply to upper eyelid, conjunctiva and also forehead. You know, it is superior, it will go up and up, and the supraorbital will supply upper eyelid, forehead, and it will go further up to the scalp. Okay, now the third nerve, that is nasociliary. So nasociliary is a last nerve. It has inferiority complex due to frontal nerve being so superior. So it has a big name, so it has to do something big. So what it does is it gives a long ciliary branch. Okay, and that too 2 in number. So let's suppose this is our nasociliary nerve. It will give 2 long ciliary nerves which will go along the other side of the optic nerve and pierce the sclera here, and then it will run here on between sclera and choroid, and then it will supply to ciliary body, iris and cornea on the both sides. So this is a long ciliary nerve, it runs long. Then the nasociliary nerve thinks that it should also make some communications. Okay, so there is a very neglected ganglion, ciliary ganglion here, this one. It lies, inferolateral to the optic nerve. So it is inferior and lateral, someone who has been put to side. So it is a very neglected ganglion. So it communicates with this ganglion. Okay, and then this ciliary ganglion gives short ciliary nerves which pass along with this long ciliary nerve. There are multiple short ciliary nerves, like 10 in number, and they pass along in this space itself, and they supply same ciliary body, iris and cornea. Okay, then this nasociliary nerve thinks, okay, now I have a long ciliary nerve also, I have a communication also, so let me also go to other strong people like bones, and supply their sinuses. So it gives posterior ethmoidal nerve. When you go to strong people, you have to approach through a back door. So it is a posterior ethmoidal nerve. So it supplies ethmoidal and sphenoid air sinus. Okay, so but there is a disadvantage in making connections with strong people. So now this nerve becomes weaker, but before giving up, it tries to make one last connection. So there are two terminal branches of this nasociliary nerve, one last connection to another strong person, anterior ethmoidal nerve, and it supplies it basically leaves the orbit through anterior ethmoidal foramen and goes into the brain. And then there is this infratrochlear nerve, which is the dying last nerve of nasociliary nerve, and it goes down. It goes down. So while going down, it supplies conjunctiva. It is crying, so it supplies lacrimal sac also, caruncle also, medial part of eyelids also. Okay. Now coming on to the motor supply. So this we all know that we have third, fourth and sixth cranial nerve supplying the extraocular muscles, and the mnemonic we all know is lateral rectus is supplied by sixth nerve, superior oblique is supplied by fourth nerve, rest all are supplied by third nerve. And there is another muscle, that is orbicularis oculi, is supplied by facial nerve. Okay, so this is the motor supply. Coming on to the autonomic. So the autonomic is, first of all, it is parasympathetic and then is sympathetic. So in parasympathetic, to simplify, we have two nucleus and one ganglion: Edinger Westphal nucleus, superior salivatory nucleus, and ciliary ganglion. Yes, the neglected one. So here, this is the midbrain, and this is superior colliculus. So this Edinger Westphal nucleus is at the level of superior colliculus. See, this one is the Edinger Westphal nucleus, and what is this? This is the oculomotor nucleus, the third nerve nucleus, and this is the third nerve. So the third nerve, the Edinger Westphal nucleus, it sends preganglionic fibers through this oculomotor nerve to this neglected ganglion, ciliary ganglion. Okay, and from there arises short ciliary nerves, okay, which are post-ganglionic nerve fibers, okay. There are approximately 10 short ciliary nerves which are post-ganglionic, and then they travel and supply. What do they supply? Sphincter pupillae muscle, okay. And there is also an accessory ganglion which supplies ciliary muscle. So this was about Edinger-Westphal nucleus, which is at the level of superior colliculus in midbrain. Now there is another nucleus, is superior salivatory nucleus, which is at the level of pons. So this nerve with a curvature is facial nerve. So what will this nucleus be? This will be facial nerve nucleus. And then what is this? This is our nucleus of interest, the superior salivatory nucleus. Okay. There are two other nuclei that contribute to facial nerve, but that don't concern us. So this nuclei of ours, these fiber of superior salivatory nuclei, they travel along the greater petrosal nerve into the pterygoid canal, and they merge with postsynaptic fibers of deep petrosal nerve and form the nerve of pterygoid canal. This goes into these fibers. They relay in pterygopalatine ganglion, and these postganglionic fibers then supply lacrimal gland. So this was about superior salivatory nucleus, which is a secretomotor nucleus of facial nerve. Okay. Now the third part is ciliary ganglion. So first, to simplify it, we just have to remember that ciliary ganglion has three roots: sensory, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sensory, as we have discussed already, it comes from which nerve? Nasociliary nerve. Okay. Sympathetic comes from something deep inside. You know, sympathy comes from something deep inside. So it is internal carotid plexus. Okay. And parasympathetic comes from, it arises from nerve to inferior oblique. So it is parasympathetic. Let us remember it like par, and par are inferior, par are niche, and niche means inferior. Okay, so nerve to inferior oblique. Okay, and what do these carry? These carry preganglionic fibers from Edinger-Westphal nucleus, and then they give rise to, this ganglion gives rise to around 10 short ciliary nerves. And what happens with short ciliary nerve? We have seen earlier in this very confusing diagram. Here multiple short ciliary nerves arise, and then they pierce sclera near the optic nerve, and then they move alongside the long ciliary nerve between the sclera and the choroid and supply iris, ciliary body and cornea. Now let's talk about the sympathetic. So sympathetic supply, see, the preganglionic fibers, they arise from a center. You know, they have a big center. Like in Delhi we have RML. The sympathetic system, they have IML, center of bunch. Infero-mediolateral cell column of spinal cord, okay, of C8, T1 and T2. These preganglionic fibers relay in superior cervical ganglion, and then they enter the skull along with internal carotid plexus, and then they supply dilator pupillae, orbital arteries, and what else? The vessels that are inside eyeball, and of course Muller's muscle. So that's all for the nerves of eye. Thank you.